a.m. Currently 60 degrees on Monday, February the 9th. High today of 74 under partly cloudy skies and an overnight low of 42. For the latest of what's happening on the streets during your morning drive, get in the huddle or follow us on Twitter at 1045 ESPN.
Capital City, this is your morning drive with Culotta and the Prince on 104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hour 2 off and moving. Your morning drive, 104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge. That is the Prince, Derek Panansky.
Morning, everybody.
Jimmy Chester's on the other side of the glass. He's our executive producer. I'm Jordy Culotta here with you for another hour. We'll turn it over to national programming. Colin Cowherd at 9 a.m. this morning. Charlie Hannah-Griff and Jimmy Ott will take over at 11 till 1 p.m. SVP and Rosillo till after further review, and Matt Moscona will drive you home at 6 o'clock this afternoon. Remember, programming note, special edition of High School Hoop coming at you at 104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge this evening with a District 7-3A matchup between the University High Cubs and the Port Allen Pelicans. I'll remind you about that inside of our second lines here this morning. Also, another great big shout out to our guys over at the Crew of Orion from the weekend. Had us out at the Grand Marshal. The masquerade was great. The route with the parade was excellent. Jimmy Chestair is an absolute superstar out on the trail, and it was humbling. It was a good event, man.
Every time we would reach down to throw one of these koozies, all we would hear is "Throw me something chest hair." Guy's a superstar, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a very interesting experience. You had a bunch of people screaming it. There was actually an old lady who walked up to the float. On her shirt it said, "I do me." And she said, "Throw me something chest hair," and I gave her a koozie. So
You did.
it was a really surreal experience.
Just out of curiosity, is Moscona going to bring up that you were at Grand Marshal Parade on the show this afternoon?
No way in hell. I think we'll talk about LSU tennis first before that happens.
You should push that chest hair.
There you go. Yeah, that definitely has some potential there.
Hey, by the way, speaking of Moscona, hearing that things are going really well with Drew, and hopefully they'll be back here in town, and then we can give him crap to his face.
Excellent news. Monday, February 9th, your second lines.
Here's the second lines with Culotta and the Prince.
LSU wide receivers coach Adam Henry is leaving the program to work with the San Francisco 49ers. Tigers confirmed the move on Sunday. Henry has been with LSU since 2012. He came to the Tiger program after spending 5 years before that out in the Bay Area as an offensive quality control coach and tight ends coach for the Oakland Raiders. Henry will join former LSU special teams coach Thomas McGahee on the 49ers staff. We talked a couple of names in the first hour, but look, this is something that we said should be set in line, set in place by the time Tigers kick off spring football in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so no hard date or anything of that sort in terms of, like we talked about with the other coaches. You know, at first we were told that they'd like to have guys in place by the time the recruiting dead period ended. That's exactly what happened, even though after that they said there's no deadline. Whatever. In this particular instance, I don't believe that there is a deadline. They'll spend their time interviewing some guys, trying to find the right fit. And the best information that we have right now is that someone who has experience and is a bona fide recruiter is going to be something that will be prioritized.
Seems like it was a big success over the weekend from Boys from the Boot. We had a question come inside the huddle driven by the Sterling Automotive Group by Shauna Wiggins in the first hour asking about a running back out of North Louisiana, Northwestern High School tailback Devin White. He was down in Baton Rouge.
He was in Baton Rouge. We were able to get that confirmed. And so, yeah, really good attendance. Almost 40 guys from in the state of Louisiana. And a couple of, just right outside the borders there. But a really good recruiting weekend for LSU. Tomorrow morning, 7:30, LSU running backs coach, associate head coach Frank Wilson will join us on your morning drive.